And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the K&K Sports Show. April 9th, 2025. It's a special day. It's one of the best in history of the year. It's my birthday, 50th birthday, celebrating. And one person's not here. Go figure. Mr. Kurt Valente's missing in action. So thanks, Kurt, for missing in action on my birthday. All good. But no, all joking aside, Kurt will be on in a few minutes, running a little late. But yes, it is my birthday, and I'm here with my great friends and starting with my man backstage, our producer, Graham. I'm not going to say your last name, Graham. You got to pronounce it for us because I always butcher it. So, Graham, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy birthday.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And for those, if you don't mind, how did we pronounce your last name?
Tika,
Tika. That's easy to remember,
with
guys.
without the D pronunciation.
Got it. Perfect. Down below me is my good friend out there in the northern end. They took a they almost swept us. His Detroit Tigers almost swept my New York Yankees. Came very close, but the Yankees gave me a birthday present. Gave me a little scare. But Carson, how you doing? Congratulations on the series win and almost sweeping us.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Very happy birthday to my good friend Kenny, Paul, Graham. Good to see you guys, and yeah, be seeing Kurt Valenti in a couple minutes from now, and looking forward to a good show tonight.
Last but certainly not least tonight, guy on my right, he's in his sports room. I was there a couple weeks ago. Amazing sports room. Little Giants pillow to his left, to his right, our left. He's got some Mets stuff behind him. He's got a lot of Giant stuff in that room. He's got the Giant. He gave me the Giant jersey, him and his wife, that I'm wearing tonight, the Jeremy Shockey Authentic. So thank you, Paul, and for the early birthday present. And how are you doing today, my friend, out there in New
Good.
Jersey?
Good evening, guys. Always a pleasure, but there's only one way I can start this show. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Paul. Now, thank you so much. I'm glad you did that at the beginning of the show instead of waiting to the end. That was nice. I appreciate that. That was
No
a
problem.
great way to start the show off. But Kurt, while we're waiting for Kurt, I'm going to take over quick hitters tonight, guys. I got 5 for you guys. I got a fun one at the end. So we're going to start tonight. We got a little women's basketball for you guys. UConn. We all know Florida beat Houston in the men's March Madness, the Final Four. Great Final Four in men's March Madness. The women's back in calling themselves the champs, the UConn Huskies. Gino Auriemma gets another one, and Paige Beckers gets the title over there as she was the captain over there. But the question I have for you guys, a little fun one. I'll start with Carson. If you were to start a WNBA franchise, Carson, if you were GM of a WNBA franchise, would you start it with Caitlin Clark or Paige Beckers?
I think I would definitely go with Caitlin Clark. Beckers is getting up there, though. I think when she enters the WNBA, it's going to be like the NBA's female version of Bird and Magic. I really believe that. They're both great studs, great players, but Caitlin Clark is box office. You saw what she did last year, brought more ratings to the WNBA this year. So Caitlin Clark for sure.
Gotcha. Paul.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Carson. I mean, she's total package, legit, star power, like Carson just alluded to. Uh, they filled stadiums no matter where she played, both home and away. So, yeah, I mean, she's as long as the WNBA has been around, she really nailed it in terms of bringing status to that league. So, yeah, I would take Caitlin Clark. Nothing
Good,
taking away from Paige Beckers, though.
good answer. I'm gonna add one to that. I'm gonna add a second part to that. Just rapid fire, and then I'm gonna get to a couple comments. Just thought of this off the top of my head. If Paige Beckers came out before Caitlin Clark, Carson, yes or no, would it change your decision?
Probably not.
Okay, and Paul.
Yeah, Yeah, I wouldn't. I would say
Okay.
it wouldn't change my
It would
mind.
be closer than I think than people think if she came out first. Some couple hellos. We got our good friend Ernie Mays out there in California. Happy birthday, big Bronco fan. So he always goes with the
Hey,
Go
Ernie.
Broncos country only. Go Bo Nix for 6. Bronco show tonight, Ernie, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I will either be on with Kurt or I'll be rolling solo and having you all come in there with the open agenda because we love that type of show with you guys. And another everybody's friend Michael Ronquillo saying hi, Kenny, Carson, and Paul. He's another one out there in the West Coast,
Hey,
Arizona.
Michael.
Hey,
Another
Michael.
big Bronco fan. So come check us out tonight, guys. And Clayton over on my end saying hello, guys, and smash that like button and share. Thank you, Clayton, for always tuning into our shows. All right, I got an NFL quick hitter for you guys, rapid fire. Kirk Cousins, Carson. Who's going to be his next team? Or is he staying in Atlanta?
Wow. I think he's going to stay in Atlanta for the time being, but he's going to retire as a Viking. I could see like next year or the year afterwards, he has like one final hurrah as maybe a backup to JJ, and then he retires a Viking.
Paul.
Yeah, I think he's also going to stay for at least backup. I know there's a $10 million bonus or payment that the Falcons have to make to him, but I think he's going to remain at least short term with the Falcons.
Pittsburgh could be desperate. Pittsburgh might be the team to watch out for because they got no quarterbacks going into this draft. Aaron Rodgers hasn't signed. Aaron Rodgers might retire. We don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. That leaves really nobody else out there. Pittsburgh could be desperate, and that could be the team to watch out for Kirk Cousins. All right, guys, sticking on the football here. We're going to go college football, Paul. And I'm just going to give you guys back and forth. I got 5 coaches that I want to know, is their seat hot or not in this upcoming season? First one I got, Paul, I'm going to give you Brian Kelly, LSU.
Isn't Brian Kelly always on the hot seat? Seems like. I'm gonna say yes. It's starting to sizzle. I think the squeeze hasn't been as good as the orange juice with what LSU tried to get from Notre Dame with him. So I think he's gonna start to feel the pressure a little.
And there's my friend and roommate, Eddie Siciliano, saying happy birthday, Mr. K. Thank you, sis.
Hey,
It's good to
sis.
see you.
Sis.
Carson, I'm going to give you a 2-4. 2 in the Big Ten. Luke Fickell and Matt Rule, Wisconsin head coach, Nebraska head coach.
Yeah, I think Matt Rule definitely, just because they had so many big expectations for him. Nebraska, I mean, they were a powerhouse, before I was born in the 80s and 90s. So they're trying to get back to the Big Ten championship, compete for playoffs. And I think it's still a little bit too early on Luke Fickell. This is his second or third year at Wisconsin. So I think I would pump the brakes on Luke Fickell. But again, they got to compete, be a top of the Big Ten, top 15, 20 team. Or definitely he's on the hot seat.
And Paul, I'll give you the last one I got on here. Mike Norvell, Florida State, had a bad year last year.
Yeah.
We all know what happened 2 years ago.
Exactly. I think it was one of those years that if everything could go wrong, it did. I'm not going to say he's going to be on the hot seat, but that being said, they've got to produce. They've got to win this year. I'm not saying they got to go 11-2 or 12-1, but they've got to obviously bounce back from a horrible season last year.
Yeah, I think he could be the one on the hot seat, guys. And I say that because the ACC is not as strong, is nowhere near as strong as the SEC. So LSU loses 2-3 games. Brian Kelly's job's probably safe. Norvell loses 5 games again this year in the ACC. But more, last year they were terrible. But if he's on borderline of making a bowl game, his seat is hot. Goodbye. We'll move on and go get somebody else to coach down here in Florida, try and take over the state of Florida. All right, I got 2 more, guys. We're going to go baseball here. We're only a couple weeks into the season, but I want to know, are you pushing the panic button on these teams' start to their season? And then I got a B is going to be the surprising teams. Could they stay as a surprise? So, and Ed insists is saying, "Hi guys, roll Tide." Big Alabama fan.
Nice.
All right, so I got the panic button. I'll start with Carson. The Twins off to a 3-8 start. Carson, in your division, you panicking with them if you were a Twins fan?
Yeah. I mean, again, it's such a long season ahead of them, but 3-8 is a pretty brutal start for the Twins. So I'm definitely hitting the panic button.
And Paul, I'm going to give you a National League team to start. The Braves off to a 2-8 start. Are you panicking with the Mets and Phillies ahead of them?
The Braves, I've just seen this story far too many times. Nobody's going to panic with the Braves losing a few games early in the year, believe me. So no, there's no panic in ATL.
Perfect. I got that. So I got two more. I got one more. Mariners 4-8 guys. Are we hitting the panic button on them? I'm going to say no. They got pitching. I think they're
No.
okay.
Yeah.
Some surprising teams. Are they going to be maybe the surprise, meaning they're going to contend for a playoff? We'll go with that. Contend for a wild card, or is this just a smoke screen? They're going to fade off the map in a couple weeks. The Giants, 9-3, Carson.
Yeah, I like what they're doing. I think they can definitely make a playoff push this year.
Paul, the Cubs, 9-6 in that AFC and AFC. I'm still on football. National League Central.
Yeah, listen, there's really no strong team in that Central Division this year. I think they legitimately have a good chance. Kyle Tucker has gotten off to an MVP type start, and they've had some pretty decent pitching so far as well. So, yeah, I think they're going to sustain it through the season.
And the last one I'll give to Carson. I was hoping Keith would have been on here. His Angels are 7-3 in first place, Carson, like in the AL West. Smokescreen.
Yeah, again, Paul alludes to it all the time. It comes down to Trout's health. Their pitching staff. I think, you got a box office player like him. He's got to be healthy at least 70-80% of the season. So, yes for now, but I'm a little scared.
Yeah, I agree. Sis wants to know where Kurt is. He's running late on my birthday of all days. So in typical Kurt fashion, who made fun of me last week for being late, is missing in action. Now he had to take his brother to get his car. So New Jersey traffic is up North Jersey is a little ridiculous for those who don't know. So he's probably stuck in a little traffic. All right, I got a fun one for my birthday for you guys. Paul. 4 sports stars. I got 4 sports stars listed here. One of them was not born on your birthday. You have to give me who wasn't born on your birthday. Okay. All right. So for you, I got Rocky Marciano, Jose Reyes, Micah Fitzpatrick, or Clinton Portis. Who was not born on your birthday, Paul?
I know Rocky Marciano was. I know Clinton Portis was. Who were the other two? Jose Reyes and who was the
Clinton
fourth one?
Portis.
No, Clinton Portis I know was. Jose Reyes and who was the
Micah Fitzpatrick.
Micah Fitzpatrick? I'm going to say Jose Reyes wasn't born on my birthday. Not really.
Micah Fitzpatrick, I got you.
Oh, okay.
David Burns watching from Cedar Hill, Texas. What's up, David? And Michael
got
saying
me.
happy 50th birthday, Kenny. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. All right, Carson, you're up. Not as many big stars on this list, but there's still sports stars. So Dan Reeves, the old head coach of the Broncos and Giants. Tim Hardaway Jr., now on your Pistons. Mitch Richmond, former NBA star. And Tony Fernandez, former American League, National League shortstop, Blue Jays, and a couple Yankees, and a couple other teams.
I'll say Tim Hardaway.
You are correct. I didn't get you.
Oh, good job, Carson.
Thanks.
Kurt's not here, but we'll play with Kurt. I got 4 tennis players for Kurt.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Billie Jean King, Boris Becker, Pete Sampras, or Magdalena Gliskowska. Guys want to take a guess?
I'll say Billie Jean King.
I was going to say Billie Jean King, but just for giggles and hits, I'll say Boris Becker.
Both wrong. It was Pete Sampras, not born on his birthday.
Oh, okay.
Graham, you're going to play backstage, my friend, and we're going to guess along. I'm going to have Paul and Carson guess too. You can put it in the comments if you want who wasn't born on your birthday, Graham. On Graham's birthday, Bob Uecker, Vince Carter, Alex Ovechkin, or Wayne Gretzky. Who was not born on his birthday? Graham's going Ovechkin.
I'll say Gretzky.
Got a guess, Paul?
I'll say Gretzky as well.
Should have went with Graham. He knows his birthday. It's Ovechkin. But Gretzky and Vince Carter and Uecker were all born on his birthday. So
nice
list there, Graham.
Good question.
Nice.
That was all right. That was my quick hitters.
Nice.
So I hope you guys like that little birthday version there at the end.
Very nice.
I'm going to pull up our next segment, thanks to Graham. And let me pull up my thing here. So our next question is, Graham alluded to this, Alexander Ovechkin is now the NHL all-time scoring leader, surpassing Wayne Gretzky. So question A is about Ovechkin and Gretzky, and then we're going to go in a little fun series for everybody. You're going to see what I got up for you guys, and it's the GOATs of different sports. So Graham's question to everybody, is Ovechkin now the GOAT over Gretzky? Paul?
I'm going to say no. There's only one hockey player of all time called the Great One, and that's Wayne Gretzky. I'm comparing Ovechkin beating Gretzky's goal scoring to when Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's record for the most home runs. As great as Ovechkin and Hank Aaron was, no one really considered him the GOAT, no matter how many records Hank Aaron had. And when Gretzky retired, he had 61 records in the NHL that he either held or tied. And even now, almost 25 years later, he still owns 55 of those records. So as great as Ovechkin is, as wonderful a mark, breaking the all-time goals in the career, Wayne Gretzky to me is still the greatest hockey player of all time.
Well said, Paul. Carson, agree with Paul? You want to add anything, subtract anything?
Yeah, no, I'm with Paul here. I saw Alex get drafted 2004. Capitals won a Cup 2018 with him. Past Gretzky, goals scored great. But there's only ever going to be one Wayne Gretzky. And again, probably the craziest stat of all time is if you took away every single goal scored in Wayne Gretzky's career, he would still be the NHL all-time points leader, which is insane to think about. So it's definitely Wayne Gretzky.
Can I add one more thing, Kenny?
Yeah.
They both scored the same amount of goals in the exact same game, in the exact same number of games, which I thought was crazy statistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Graham,
cool.
And Graham's saying Gretzky has over 1,200 more assists than Ovechkin. And then he's also saying, but then again, goals and assists are not everything. He's also saying, yes, Paul, an amazing stat. Michael brings up a point on the other end. Alexander Ovechkin did it with one NHL team, the Capitals, whereas Gretzky did it with two. But I think the Capitals...
Actually, three.
Three, you're right. He was, yep. I forgot about the third one, yep.
Rangers, Stars,
Rangers, yep. I did forget about that. But Ovechkin played in a smaller market, though, out here in D.C. So, that could have hurt him on a couple of bad teams. But I'm going to still go with Gretzky. But Ovechkin is closer than than I'm going to put, he's worth mentioning. But I'm still going to put Gretzky there. That's going to be my answer to that. All right, so Oilers, Kings, Blues, and Rangers. He's put are the teams he played for. So I forgot about the Blues. So that is one definitely to add. And
Hey,
there he is, Mr. Valenti joined
Hey,
us.
about
Sorry,
time.
sorry, guys. I apologize. I just literally I didn't even change. But as you can see, I couldn't even set up the podcast center, so I'm in this area. But I don't know what you guys said before, but if I could have 1 minute just to wish Mr. Kirkpatrick a happy 50th. Again, not only because he's such a great friend, but I will say this about him: he is one of the most generous people around, one of the nicest guys around. I know that I always say this about Jen too, but I'm going to put Kenny in that category. I don't have that gene. I think I'm a nice guy, but not as nice as Mr.
Thank you, Kurt. I
I will
appreciate
say that. I will say that. So happy birthday, Mr. Kirkpatrick. And by the way, breaking news, I'm going to put him to work tonight because Jen is extremely tired. We just got home, so Kenny's going to do a Bronco.
Oh, there's some people excited. Michael and Ernie said hello already. Told them we're going to be doing a Broncos show. Maybe me, depending on what time you get home. So yeah, we're in. We're just talking about the GOAT, Kurt. And you came in a good time because I think we got it. This is going to be a fun chat. But this is Graham's question, and I'll just go to you because Carson and Paul just answered. Is Gretzky now the GOAT after his record? No, is Ovechkin now the GOAT, or is it still Gretzky?
I'm going to say it's still Gretzky. I think he won more. I don't know. Again, I'm not the biggest people with stats. We talked about Barry Sanders and Emmett Smith last week. I mean, Barry Sanders is a better back than Emmett Smith. So I'm still going to say Gretzky's the GOAT. But
really
a
quick
accomplishment. A great accomplishment.
Yeah, absolutely. He's worth mentioning. But I still think it's Gretzky. I want to do this with you, Kurt, because for the birthday quick hit, I have a quick birthday quick hitter at the end, and you weren't here yet. But there are four players, four sports stars. I'm going to give you their names that were born on your birthday, and you tell me which one wasn't. And we're all tennis players: Billie Jean King, Boris Becker, Pete Sampras, or Magdalena Gryczkowska. She's a Polish tennis player. Is the D one? Which one was not born on your birthday?
Oh, not born on my birthday?
Yeah,
Pete Sampras.
you are correct. I didn't get you. I got
That's
Paul.
impressive.
Paul was the only one I got. Graham, Gretzky. He had an impressive list. Gretzky, Vince Carter, and Bob Uecker were born on his birthday. So I gave him Alex Ovechkin to try and trick him, but he knew Ovechkin wasn't born on his birthday. All right. So speaking of GOATs, so this is going to be a little fun one for you guys. It's going to be an either or. And if you want to add somebody else, but I want to do it with the guys I got listed on here. So the first GOATs we're going to talk about is the NBA. And this is one we've brought up a dozen times on this show. So let's get it out of the way early. Paul, LeBron or Michael Jordan?
Oh, please. Please. Come on. Do I have to even answer it?
You have to answer for the show for those that don't know.
All right, I'll put it this way. I'm not picking LaFraud.
I'm with you, Carson.
Listen, 38 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, and the man had food poisoning in the NBA Finals. That's enough said. It's MJ.
Bingo. And Kurt, for the record.
By the way, Mr. Siciliano is commenting and saying November 22nd. So there's Mr. Siciliano's comment. And we got to get Mr. Siciliano as a special guest, Mr. Kirkpatrick. We got to get him on again.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm going to go. Yeah, just same thing like Carson said. I mean, 6-0. Besides that, the flu game, 6-0 in NBA Finals, never lost. I mean, the only time they lost right later on in the playoffs is he came back from his baseball, tryout or whatever he did. But I'm going Jordan easy.
And Michael's with you. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. All right, the easy one's out of the way. We got that done. There's no comparison in our opinions. So let's move on. Major League Baseball, Carson. Babe Ruth versus Willie Mays. I put those two up there.
Wow. I think history will say Babe Ruth because how consistent he was. But I think no doubt Willie Mays is the greatest center fielder of all time. But listen, I think my good friend Ryan Scoops would testify with me on this one. I really believe when it's all said and done, Shohei Ohtani is going to be the greatest baseball player of all time. When he retires, he's going to be the GOAT.
That's a nice statement there, and it could happen. Kurt.
I'm gonna go. Listen, first off, I'm not gonna disagree with Carson on that. I mean, the guy's amazing, right? But I'm gonna take Babe Ruth. Willie Mays, like Carson said, best outfielder, center fielder. But I just think when you think of baseball, all the stuff Babe Ruth did. I mean, what was he drinking? How much beer? Hungover. Next day, he's coming out and he's hitting home runs left and right. I'm gonna go.
Kurt,
Babe
there was a restaurant in Garfield. My dad told me this story.
Yeah.
The Pescador. And he used to hang out, and it was like 5 minutes from our house. That was his drinking. It wasn't called that. It was a drinking place. That's where he used to hang out back in the day.
You know where that is, right?
Yeah.
That's
It's like 5 minutes from where we grew up, guys. Not even. Maybe around the block from Kurt's parents' house. Paul, you going the same way?
Willie Mays was the greatest 5-tool player of all time. I mean, almost underrated to a certain extent, but Babe Ruth, he transcended the baseball world. I mean, the game of baseball changed with Babe Ruth becoming a full-time hitter, especially once he came to the Yankees. And the home runs weren't a normal thing until he started hitting them. And the whole game of baseball changed after that. So Babe Ruth is, to me, the greatest baseball player of all time.
Willie Mays is
By the way,
oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Kenny. He's an expensive guest.
There you go. I'm going Babe Ruth because he did what Ohtani's doing, pitching and hitting. But Willie Mays is pretty close. Watching a lot of film on Willie Mays and his amazing career. But I'll take Babe Ruth because he did a little of both. He started his career as a pitcher and then became a amazing slugger. So I'll sweep it with Babe, but Willie's close. We're going to move to NFL quarterbacks, guys. Paul, Tom Brady or Joe Montana?
Is it only going to be quarterbacks, or is it going to be other players?
I got NFL positions on here.
Okay.
Well. So this one's just for the quarterback. Who's the quarterback?
For me, this is so damn close. Oh man. You might disagree, but I'm going to say Joe Montana. I mean, what that guy was able to do was phenomenal. I know we had great teams all around him most of his career, but I'm going to say Joe Montana.
I'm going to go to Kurt next.
It's neither one of these guys. It's if you see him, he's all over this room.
You could say somebody else. You could say somebody else.
Yeah. All I ever hear now is, oh my God, like look at what Patrick Mahomes does. Well, guys, go put on film of 85, 86, and 90s. John Elway did all that, but better, stronger arm, faster. He basically was Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes and better. He did everything better. Single-handedly took 3 teams and probably the worst defenses ever to make a Super Bowl to the Super Bowl. It's John Elway, just pound for pound, just doing stuff the right way. Just if you took him, strongest arm, mobile quarterback. He made the mobile quarterback. It's John Elway.
Graham's saying, all I hear about Brady is that he's always had good defense. Carson, which way you going?
Yeah, I think Montana and Elway are definitely up in the question. I was born in the modern era, though, with Brady. So just because I grew up watching him and didn't really have enough experience watching them play live, I know Paul and Kirk, could agree that they're definitely in the conversation. But I just think just the dominance alone from Brady in itself, 7 Super Bowl wins, 5 MVPs. The guy felt like every other damn year he was in the Super Bowl. Went to 10 Super Bowls, won 7 of them. I think it's Brady.
I got to lean Brady too with Carson. I think I got to lean Brady because Brady made Edelman. Gronk, was Gronk, but after that there wasn't many. Randy Moss came over there for a couple years, but he didn't really have much in the way of weapons. Montana had Rice for most of his career. Jonathan Taylor. Montana, not taking anything away from Montana, it's close. They're a 1 and 1A, but if I had to pick one, I'm giving Brady just a hair of a nod there. Sticking with, go ahead.
Kenny, real quick, this made a good point, and he said, "Why a tittle?" But I got a question I want to ask Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you think like we're talking like Carson just said, hey, he's picking Brady. He saw Brady. He didn't see the other guys, right? We really didn't see the other guys. Like I never saw Y.E. Tittle, Johnny and
Right.
Like, do you think they get disrespected in today's GOAT conversation? Because a lot of people now never see them. Right? Think about it. I'm 50. Me and Kenny are 50. We never saw them.
I will say I saw Johnny Unitas toward the end of his career. But there's another quarterback that is never talked about. And actually, I think the NFL incorporated, I think I read recently, records from that other league that the Cleveland Browns played in, and their quarterback was Otto Graham, who supposedly, I think they won like 8 championships in 10 years, and he was considered one of the all-time great quarterbacks. So a guy like that, like a Unitas, quarterbacks from that 50s, 60s, Y.A. Tittle, I think they tend to get overlooked nowadays, especially in the modern era of teams passing the ball so much more than a guy like Montana, who was an unbelievable passer. His stats are minuscule compared to some of the stats nowadays, like a Mahomes, a Brady, even and quarterbacks like that. So, yeah, I think they tend to get overlooked at this point in their careers.
Kurt, you just dropped Ryan off. I guess he doesn't know we're doing a show because he's calling me.
I told him 10 times.
I know, I'm kidding. He must have forgot. All right, so we're going to move on to running backs. I'm going to let Carson go first. We got Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, Walter Payton in this conversation here.
Walter Payton and Jim Brown definitely deserve their flowers. Hall of Famers for a reason, great careers. Barry Sanders' dad, there's a great documentary called Bye Bye Barry, and it talks about his whole process, growing up to college to the NFL. Barry Sanders' dad even said, listen, Jim Brown is the greatest running back of all time. And that's saying, better than his own son. But obviously I'm a Detroit Lion. In my opinion, I think it's Barry Sanders. Just the electrifying atmosphere vibe that he brought to every single game at the Silverdome. Most rushing yards in a single season, never's been broken yet. 2,053 rushing yards, and he also has the most consecutive years with 1,000+ rushing yards as well. So the guy was unbelievable, and again, he did it with a very mediocre offensive line. So it's Barry for me, but Jim Brown and Walter Payton, Adrian Peterson, Emmitt Smith, other guys in there as well, you could argue is up there.
Yeah, this might be the toughest one. Kurt, which way are you going?
This is tough because I agree with him. I mean, I think, you know what though, Carson, you were very nice by saying a mediocre offensive line. I kind of remember watching, like, if you guys ever watched the movie Little Giants, where like they hand the ball and it's like, there's no one blocking. That's sometimes seriously like what it was. And I mean, this guy to break the record and have the record. Listen, all three of the guys are phenomenal. These three guys might be top 10 NFL players of all time. But again, I didn't really see Jim Brown. I saw the tail end of Peyton. But I'm going Barry Sanders. I've just never seen a running back like do stuff like that he did. It was just, forget about it. Crazy.
Paul, I'm going to go Barry as well because I can't name, besides Dave, who was their quarterbacks. So he had never had a quarterback over there. Scott Mitchell. Yeah.
Scott Mitchell.
So, Paul, which way are you going?
Oh man, this. I mean, let's put it this way. If you went any of these three guys, you couldn't make a mistake. I'll go with Barry also. I think you guys make very good points, but I mean, Jimmy Brown, I mean, they say, you pick the greatest NFL player. He's right up there in the top 3 maybe, but I'll go for our purposes. I'll go with Barry Sanders as well.
Kurt, quick hitter question from Graham. Did Kurt Warner deserve to get enshrined?
Yes.
I agree. A couple more I got for you guys. We're going to move to the defensive side. I got 4 listed here. Mean Joe Green on the left, Aaron Donald, Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White. I think we know who the GOAT is here, guys. Who's the second best? We'll do that one. Who's the baby GOAT, Kurt? Because we know LT's the GOAT out of these 4.
Tough. I guess I got to go Reggie White, right? I mean, Reggie White, started the whole, what was it like? He was really like the first free agent, right? Like the big free agency too. Wasn't
Yeah.
that kind of,
No, you're right, Kurt.
But you know what? Just dominant both sides of the ball. I mean, I'll be honest, like as a defensive tackle, like starting to learn the game and watch it as a young, like he was the first, like, wow, this like defensive tackle is like unbelievable. Like Lawrence Taylor's a linebacker, but like to see him do it like as a D tackle, I think he changed the game. I'm going to say Reggie White.
Fair enough. I like it. Paul.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Minister of Defense as well. I mean, Reggie White could single-handedly take over games just like LT. Not to, believe me, not to denigrate Mean Joe Green or Aaron Donalds, who's a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer when he's going to get elected. But you're talking about a guy who was as dominant, if almost as dominant as LT in his day.
Nice. Carson.
Yeah, we're in with those guys. Reggie White, Deion Sanders, those guys come to mind. But again, like I said, I think it's similar to the LeBron MJ question. Defensive player of all time, there's no question it's LT by a mile.
Yeah, I'm going to clean sweep it with Reggie. He was always a pest on those Eagle teams for Phil Simms and our quarterbacks over there. So I'll stick with Reggie as well. All right, couple left, guys. Football coaches, Carson. Bill Belichick versus Nick Saban.
Wow, that's I'm going to say Bill Belichick for now. I just think Nick Saban, obviously was a beast in college. We'll see what happens with Belichick in North Carolina. But the consistency and greatness with what he did with the Patriots franchise and Brady alone speaks miles. So I'll say Belichick.
Paul.
Yeah, I would say Belichick as well. I might have, for me, this is almost apples and oranges. Maybe I would have Vince Lombardi and Belichick, because I think he's, to me, maybe the greatest NFL coach of all time. But with Nick, I would say Belichick.
Kurt, you sweeping it?
I am sweeping it. This is funny because Jen and I in dinner tonight, we were talking a little about this with Saban. I don't remember what we were talking about, but and again, listen, he created it, so he deserves it. But just on talent alone, they're 9-2 every year. Just walking on the field, they're going to be 9-2. And again, he deserves a lot of credit because he's getting the kids. But you know what? Belichick like changed the game, right? Like, the one thing I loved about Belichick, it wasn't like, okay, we're just a running football team and that's how it is. I mean, he's won Super Bowls throwing it 50 times. He's won Super Bowls running it 40 times. His defense was always there. His defense always had a plan. His defense, did very well versus Peyton Manning, very well versus the, greatest show on turf, even though they had film on them. I mean, that probably helps that they scouted their walkthrough. But I'm going to go Belichick.
Hey,
now,
Kenny,
I'm going to go Belichick.
Hey,
yeah.
Kenny, can I just add one more thing that Kurt just said? It was Bill Belichick in Super Bowl 25 against the K-Gun Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
His defense was perfect against that team, and they stopped them after they had scored 50-something points in that championship game. So, yeah, it was Belichick's defensive genius that was able to stop Buffalo's attack.
I want to ask this question again when Belichick retires in college football, because if Belichick fails in college football, how close is it? Saban failed in the NFL with all those NCAA championships. If Belichick fails in college, is it closer, and will we change our minds is going to be the question. That's a future question down the road. We're going to do 2 more, guys. We'll do this one quick. PGA golf, Kurt, Jack Nicklaus, the Golden Bear versus Tiger Woods.
I mean, listen, he never beat Jack, right? I mean, so, he didn't get that record. I mean, what Tiger did, though, is just like, I think he transformed golf to where it was, I always hear people say, if he's in a Masters, I'm not doing anything Saturday, Sunday. I'm sitting down and watching a Masters for him. And, so I'm going to give him that, but I'm still going to go Jack. I mean, listen, Jack has the record. Tiger couldn't get there, and I'm still going to say Jack.
I'm with you. Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to say Jack Nicklaus as well. I mean, Kurt's right. He did transform golf into it's must-see TV when he was playing on whatever tournament. So, but Jack Nicklaus was still, is almost like Kurt alluded earlier about the old-time quarterbacks. You can't forget how great not only Jack Nicklaus but Arnold Palmer was in those days.
Well said. And Carson, and then I'll get a couple comments in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tiger. Again, like Kurt was saying, just he's the face of golf, brought a whole modern new look to it. I think he's tied all time with most tour wins with Sam Snead. So it's gonna be Tiger for me.
That's a good point on the other end of it there. So that's a good debate there. Michael's agreeing with us, Jack Nicholson, but it's Jack Nicklaus is what he meant to say. And Trevor's saying, "What's up, boys? Great to see you. Happy 20th birthday to my buddy Kenny. Yes, it's my 20th birthday. For those who don't know, thank you, Trevor.
Long time.
I actually sent Ryan some pictures off to share. Kurt will probably should be sharing it on. Kurt will probably be sharing it from Halloween in our 20s. Kurt will probably be sharing them on a future K&K with everybody when Ryan sends them. And the last one I got for you guys, and you know what? It's my birthday takeover show. I went a little long on the segment. But it's been a fun one, I think. And this one, Summer Olympics, I put in here.
Oh,
Usain Bolt, Simone Biles, and Michael Phelps, Paul.
Oh my God. This is almost as hard as the running backs. I think, oh man, as crazy as you guys might think, I think Usain Bolt was one of the 5 greatest athletes I've ever seen, dominating track and field like no athlete has ever done, probably since Jesse Owens in the 36 Olympics. To me, this guy has just been an unbelievable athlete. And I know certainly Michael Phelps and Simone Biles were unbelievable in their sports, but Usain Bolt to me.
Good, nice. Graham saying you can't teach speed. I'll go right to Carson below Paul.
Yeah, it's Michael Phelps. I mean, just pure dominance all around. The guy was an absolute beast in the pool. When you think of Olympics, you think of Michael Phelps. The most gold medals ever, most medals ever. The guy was just pure excellence all around. But yeah, Usain Bolt, Simone Biles, characters respectively in their own sports. But it's Michael Phelps by a mile.
Kurt.
I'm going to agree with Carson and say Phelps, and not for Simone Biles. I mean, listen, I think the most athletic out of all of them is probably my God, I can't think of his name, Bolt. But with Biles, I think that we kind of saw a lot of that kind of thing. We used to watch. Remember, we were watching the Summer Olympics that year with the. Remember, we were watching. With what's his name, Bella Carosi and all that stuff and whatever. I forgot that what his name was, but. Anyway, like Mary Lou Retton, and again, I'm not going to say they're on Biles' level, but like what Carson said, we never saw with Phelps. I mean, just every event he's in, he won. It was like amazing, and he had a couple little rivalries with, I forgot who the other guy was. The other American. There was another American.
I can't think of his name.
Ryan
I see his
something
face.
or other.
Ryan
Lochte. Yeah.
But like that made it must watch. But I agree with Carson. I'm going with Phelps. I mean, the guy never he always won. It was Crazy.
I got 3 GOATs on here for you guys, and I'm going to cheat. Phelps is the men's USA GOAT in the Summer Olympics. Usain Bolt is, other countries' GOAT, and, we'll just say other countries. And Simone Biles, the women's GOAT for me. So I'm going to cheat like Kurt usually does and going to say all 3 in this category, in this question are GOATs for me. All right, guys, I went a little long. I apologize, but that was my Graham's flavor of the week. I turned it around and gave everybody a comparison on GOATs of various sports. So hope you guys enjoyed that.
Nice.
I'm going to pass it off to Carson for some Carson's Corner a little later than usual, but he's got some NBA for us tonight.
Cool. Thanks, Kenny. So you want me to take the Malone one?
Yeah, we could do the
Okay.
Malone story question, however you want to do it.
All right, sounds good. So we'll get to that second. But yeah, NBA playoffs, guys, are coming up soon. Looking forward to it. We got 3 of my good friends who are all Knicks fans on this panel. You guys got to the Eastern Conference semifinals, correct, last year against the Pacers. So the question is, what is the expectation now? You guys are sitting at the 3 seed. Your record's 50-29. And what would be a realistic best case scenario to where you would say to yourself, yeah, I'm satisfied with that if it's not the NBA title? Is it Eastern Conference Finals? Do you have to, are you okay with Eastern Conference semifinals loss? Can you beat the Boston Celtics, a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers who are the 1 seed, but you got to take down the defending champs again? So what is a realistic ceiling for this New York Knicks team? One of the biggest diehard fan bases in all of sports, with huge expectations, haven't won in a very long time. What is your guys' ceiling for this 2025 roster? We'll go to Kenny first.
I'm going to give you a team that we have to beat. Not necessarily but it will be where we play them. We have to beat the Celtics. I mean, not Celtics. We have to beat the Cavaliers, is what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm.
We have to beat everybody. I'll accept losing to the Celtics because to me they're the best team in the NBA still, and they're the defending champs. I'll accept losing to them in a hard-fought series. We lost 119-117 in overtime yesterday. I'll accept that. I will not accept losing to the Cavaliers or anybody else in the East.
Fair enough. Paul?
I think it's got to be at least the Eastern Division Finals. And I think if they get to the finals, then I think they must win that. That, for me, is what I'm looking for. I think they've got to take that next step. I know they've had a horrible record against some of the best teams in the league this year, but you know what? The good thing, as Kurt always says, once the playoffs begin, everyone has a 0-0 record. So you know what? What's to say you get to the playoffs and why can't you beat Cleveland? Why can't you beat the Celtics? And if they can get into the finals, hey, I don't think there's any team, even the Thunder, that they can't play and match up against. And I think if they would lose in the finals, all right, but to get there would be, I think, my bottom line at this point.
Nice. Kurt, what is the unacceptable level that you guys could get into the playoffs, and what would be like an acceptable, okay, we had a good season, it was fair enough, I can handle that stage?
I had to grab a pen, and because I was calm and you got my juices flowing. Plain out. If we lose in the first round, Tom Thibodeau is not coming back. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it's Milwaukee. I don't want to hear it's Detroit. If you can't beat them after what we did and invested in, you better beat those teams. I don't care if Damian Lillard comes back from the blood clot. I don't care. You better beat them. That's number one. Number two, I agree with Kenny for one thing, but I'm going to switch it up a little. Boston's the best team in basketball. Am I afraid of Boston? No, because we should have beat them last night. Tatum hit a 3. We should have fouled them. Whatever. I could deal with that. If we lose, but here's two things. How do we lose? If we win the first round and we lose in 5 games, that's unacceptable. If I lose in 6 and 7 in a tough season, acceptable. But OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, those 2 guys I'm circling. Because if I see Tatum and Brown going off and I'm paying those guys that money, Paul, cover your ears. Bye. Give me Kevin Durant.
Oh,
Give me him.
God.
Give me him. Because I'm not playing games anymore, Carson. We don't have time. We have a very small window, very small, with Brunson, very small. So I can't play. Well, we'll get this next. There's no more. Those 2 guys, your Knick career is on the line right now. If you do not produce, gone. Give me Durant. Give me Greek Freak. Karl Anthony Towns, too. I'm not married to him. He wants to play soft, and Greek Freak wants to come. Bye. That's Carson. That's how I'm rolling. So that's how I'm rolling. But first round, mega changes with the head coach. He's gone if we can't get out of the first round. You guys disagree with me on that?
No, they'll win the first round.
Well, it's funny. Hang on a second, because I have a rapid fire question, and it's funny how you guys are going to answer this. Me being the Piston fan on this show, Kurt was saying you guys are probably going to be the 3 seed, so the 3 seed would play the 6 seed. It's going to be interesting how this shakes up in the next couple of days, because the Pistons and the Bucks play each other twice, and that's going to determine who gets the 5 seed and who gets the 6 seed. Rapid fire, first round. Who do you want to face, Milwaukee and Giannis or Pistons and Cade Cunningham? Kenny.
I want to face you because it would be fun. All joking aside, I would want to face the Pistons, but definitely would be fun on our shows and little side fun little wagers we can have, and the competitiveness. I think the Pistons will be a good series. I do. I'm not sleeping on the Pistons at all, but I would like to see it, because us as a team all together facing each other would be fun.
Nice. Paul, Bucks or Pistons, who would you rather face?
I think I'd rather face your Pistons. No offense, but I think the Bucks are going to be a harder team to beat. No
Fair
offense,
enough.
Carson.
Kurt?
I'm going to say the Pistons, because I think the big advantage is going to be in Carson and Kenny. We always say this with my Broncos, right? They had a nice run. They get in, and now, oh my God, we got to go into, but like, what is that? I think the shock of going into the Garden, Madison Square Garden, like that's big. That does matter, right? I mean, I could tell you right now, I could definitely see the Knicks winning the 2 games, going to game 3 and getting run right out of the building in Detroit. I could definitely see that. But I think I would want our experience to matter. Where Paul said with Milwaukee, I mean, they got the best player on the court in Greek Freak. I don't want to play that, because now the experience. I mean, they got the experience. They just won an NBA title a couple of years ago. So that's why I'm saying it. But Carson, I'm still throwing it back at you. You didn't answer. The Knicks get beat. Are you firing Thibodeau?
100%. You're the New York Knicks. You went all in and got Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. You got to get past the first round. I'm telling you guys right now, if the Pistons and Knicks play, you do not want to play the team that had the worst record in basketball last year and have nothing to lose. That is the team you do not want to face in the first round of any playoff situation in any sport. So I'm hoping it. I really hope it's Knicks Pistons, because the content we'll have will be awesome. And that would be awesome to see. Really quick, guys, we'll get to this Nuggets question because we're kind of wrapping up on time. Michael Malone was fired, let go from the Denver Nuggets. Great career overall. Won the NBA title a couple years ago with the Nuggets. Nuggets are currently the 5 seed in the Western Conference. So try to make any sense, logical reason why they would possibly do this. They got their assistant coach taking over right now. But a week before the playoffs, Kenny, make any sense?
It doesn't, but I spoke to my friend Trevor. He's a Nugget fan, and he said that Malone has definitely lost the locker room over there. So that and him and the GM are like oil and vinegar, water and water. They don't mix together. And Adelman's dad was a former coach in the NBA, so he does Dave Adelman has taken over. Rick Adelman, a former coach, was a good coach in the NBA. So there's some ties there, blood ties with Adelman taking over.
Nice.
And Jay Cook's wishing me a happy birthday. Thanks, Jay. Good to see you, my friend.
Thanks, Jay. Welcome, dude. Paul, any logical reason why they could do this? Any thoughts to this?
Yeah, I mean the timing is unbelievable, but as Kenny alluded to, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that went on between the team and the GM. Calvin Booth was also let go, and usually you let go of the coach or the GM and not both of them. But as Trevor told Kenny, there's a lot of conflict between those two guys. They won with a lot of veterans a couple of years ago, and that's what the coach wanted, veteran players. And the GM wanted to go with youth and a lot of younger players. And that was a big, I think, conflict between the two of them. So they weren't meeting, sort of their minds weren't meeting. And I guess the owner decided, you know what, even though there's only a few games left in the regular season before the playoffs, we're going to start clean and get rid of them. So let's do it now. And, as we know, NFL always says it stands for not for long. And when you're a coach, you get hired to be fired.
Fair enough. Kurt, any logical reasoning to why the Nuggets let go of Malone?
You know what, though? Just like I mentioned with the Knicks, Carson, like I think the window, especially now with Jokic and, getting older, and listen, I can't throw away even a playoff run. I can't. It's not working. It's not going to work. You obviously, like Paul said, stuff behind the scenes, things were going on. Hey, I have no shot with Michael Malone. Give me some shot and see if I can strike, strike lightning in a bottle with making this switch. But I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. I don't know if it makes 100% sense, but I don't have a problem. Like the organization, if I'm an owner and I'm not going to throw away this season and this postseason, hey, take a shot.
Carson, good friend Random Ryan saying "Go Bulls" with the smile emoji.
There you go.
And,
Hey, Ryan. Thanks for stopping in.
Ryan, you'll be happy to know all four of us agreed that Michael Jordan is the GOAT over LeBron James. And we're three of us are Knicks fans, and Carson's a Pistons fan. Michael's saying Nuggets should have waited after the NBA season.
Gotcha. Yeah, let's have a Knicks Pistons first round playoff matchup, guys. We're going to find out next week. That'd be awesome. And that's my NBA segment.
Awesome,
Nice.
Carson. Carson, I know we're getting short on time. How are you doing?
I'm good. 10, 15 minutes. That's fine.
Okay.
No problem.
We got one more segment. We'll let Paul take over for a couple of Major League Baseball feats that may be difficult to break this year.
All right. So obviously the baseball season just started, and we had a few questions earlier before Kurt came back in. But there's a few things that I want to ask you guys, and what I'll do is I'll rotate around. As I see it on my screen, I'll ask each of you guys a couple of questions. Kurt, my first question to you. You think there's going to be a perfect game pitched in Major League Baseball this year? And the last one was pitched by Domingo Germán back in 2023.
I do. I could see a team like the White Sox getting, with a lineup like they're throwing. I mean, unless they're doing a little better, but yeah, I'm going to go yes.
Okay. Interesting. Carson, a 4 home run game, batter hitting 4 home runs. The last one was JD Martinez back in 2017. Think someone can hit 4 home runs in a game?
Yeah, and it's going to be Juan Soto.
Okay. I would have said Aaron Judge, but that's an interesting thought. I'd love to see that.
Only in April for Aaron Judge.
Right, right. That's true. All right, Kenny. A 7-hit game. The last 7-hit game was by Brandon Crawford, the Giants, back in 2016.
I'm going to give you the first no because of the extra inning rules now that you're not going to see many games go past the 10th inning.
Yeah, that's the problem. You don't have those long extra inning games where players get 6, 7, 8 at bats in a game, unfortunately. Kurt, a 20 strikeout game. The last one was by Max Scherzer back in 2016. And there's only been 5 pitchers in Major League Baseball that's had a 20 strikeout game.
No, because especially like early on in the season, no one's really going to pitch into the 7th and 8th inning to do it. So I'm going to say no.
Okay. Carson, an unassisted triple play. The last one was by Eric Bruntlett back in 2009, and only 15 players in Major League history have had an unassisted triple play.
I'll be optimistic. Yeah, I think it'll happen this year.
That'll be an exciting play, really. Yeah. Kenny, an 11 RBI game. The last player actually had 4 homer, 12 RBI, Mark Whitten, back in 1993. And last year, Ohtani had a 10 RBI game. If you remember, toward the end of the year, he had a 6-hit, 2 homer. One of them was his 50th home run. But he had 10 RBIs. And there's only been 4 Major League players that have had more than 11 RBIs in a game. So you think somebody might do it this year?
Let's go bold and let's say yes. Shohei Ohtani does it in Colorado in that Rocky Mountain air. Hold your ears, my Colorado Rocky fans. That pitching staff, that middle relief. Once you get by the 4th, 5th inning, that bullpen's giving up 10 runs. So I could see Ohtani having a nice summer game over there. Let's go with a yes, and it's Shohei Ohtani, and he becomes the future GOAT, like Carson and Kurt said.
All right. Well, those are my quick baseball feats for this segment.
Nice.
Great.
Ball.
Thanks.
All right, Kurt, fellas, I think we get some final thoughts in. Kurt, you want to take over?
Yeah, my final thoughts are, just like Carson said, we're actually going to find out on Sunday. By Sunday, who because you guys definitely clinched the playoffs, right? You're not in a dream, so you're definitely in. So we'll find out Sunday. We're also, by the way, a little breaking news. Jen and I broke the bank a little bit, Carson, and we are going to game 1 of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I thought we were all supposed to go, but I see how it is, Carson. He kept it a secret from us and went and bought the tickets. So all good. Good. We'll have.
We're going to do it, but
like a watch party, all of us watching the game together.
There you go.
Very pricey. We did say we were going to go last year. We didn't go, so we said we're going. So we booked the trip we're in. We just don't know if it's going to be Saturday or Easter Sunday. So Easter Sunday plans are on hold for now for the rest of the family. So until that happens. Other than that, I'm pumped up, man. I'm pumped up. Just another little breaking news: college basketball tonight. I read a tweet and it said, little birdie said St. John's already got 2 major transfer portal guys. But Kenny, you're going to like this one, Carson and Paul. It said the rumor is St. John's is going to strike up a quote unquote haul of the next transfer portals. They're going after 3 big guns. Let's go, Patino. Carson, why not? Go right in right now. Give me a top 3 ranking next year. We won the Big East regular. We won the Big East tournament. I want the whole shebang next year. I want the whole kit and caboodle. Go get him, Ricky P. And most importantly, Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick, again, you're the man.
Thank you.
Happy 50th. I'll say it again. There's no other one. I'll say my wife, Jen. But besides that, maybe my brother Ryan's up there too. But you, Kenny, you are very, you're willing to help anybody. You're always to do that. So you're an unbelievable great guy. And happy 50th and many more. Mr. Carson.
Yeah, great show as always, boys. Love you all. Happy birthday, Kenny. Kenny's awesome. Remember him stopping by my show a couple years ago, 2020, I think. He's like, hey, you want to?
We're going on 5 years now.
Yeah, it's crazy. You want to be a guest on our show? And I'm like, sure, why not? And I've been a co-host ever since. It's been awesome. Love spending time with you guys every Wednesday. And yeah, Pistons and Knicks, man. That's what I want to see. Hopefully we can get that wish.
Absolutely.
Mr. Rosen.
Great show, guys. Thanks for stopping by, Kurt. Listen, having the ability to have Kenny at my house and Luby's house and hosting him just reinforced what kind of a guy he is, and it was our pleasure to be with him for a week. And Kurt, you're right. The guy would give his shirt off his back to a homeless person, and he's just a wonderful, wonderful man. Does things that probably none of us would do. So, Kenny, my friend, my brother from another, happy birthday, happy 50th, and you are the man.
Thank you guys so much.
And thank you, Graham. Thank you, Kenny. Before you get the final word, thank you again, Graham, for doing a great job
sure.
backstage.
Absolutely.
And final thoughts, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Great question, Graham. Graham's flavor of the week with the goats. Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes in the chat. Michael saying, awesome guy. Everybody's friend, Michael. We're on Keo. We'll be on doing a Broncos show, Michael, soon. Carson, go check Carson out. He's about to head out. Ticket Time Live. He'll be doing a live stream over there. And, you know, Carson likes to talk sports during his stream or whatever you guys want to talk about. And go check him out. He's about to head over there and do a live stream with some casino content. So, but thank you guys. You guys are my family outside my family, and love you guys. Love all of you. And we'll see everybody next Wednesday. And like Carson said, let's get a Pistons-Knicks first round so we can have some special fun with the K&K Sports Show starting next week.
For sure.
Carson, you have a heavy jacket. You live in a cold area, right?
Lots of jackets.
Well, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Kenny's suggestion was every year put somebody in.
Oh man,
Carson's going in the freezer.
Oh boy, me. Oh no.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.